Deep beneath the ocean surface is a world of incredible sound, a place where massive creatures communicate across miles with songs we are only just beginning to understand. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious animals in the oceans, a whale that sings at a frequency no other whale seems to hear. To understand the mystery of the 52 hertz whale, we need to understand how whales communicate. Sound travels much farther in water than in air, up to 1500 meters per second. Whales use sound for navigation, finding food, bonding with each other, and mating. Every whale species communicates at its own range of frequencies, like a species-specific language. The blue whale, the largest animal ever to live on Earth. Its song frequencies are extremely low, 10 to 40 hertz, sometimes even below what humans can hear. These are infrasound, so low that human ears miss them completely. These calls can travel hundreds of miles across the ocean, and their purpose is for long-distance communication and mating calls. Fin whales, the second largest whales on the planet, also hover around in this range. They use their harmonics and sounds for similar reasons. However, nothing truly compares to the deep harmonics and ranges of the humpback whale. Their song frequencies range from 20 to 10,000 hertz. Humpbacks produce some of the most complex whale songs known, often rhythmic and musical. These songs can last up to 30 minutes and are repeated in patterns over hours. The complicated harmonics and sounds of humpback whales are used by scientists to study how whales communicate and just how intricate they can use their sounds. In a similar fashion, sperm whales also use a high range of sounds, often between 2,000 and 20,000 hertz, very different from most baleen whales. These clicks aren't just songs, they also help with echolocation, like sonar. Sperm whales are unique in the fact that they hunt deep down in the ocean's depths. They use their clicks and echolocation, like dolphins, to find prey in the dark abyss. They are also capable of using their sound to create sonic booms that stun and paralyze prey. With that being said, with blue whales, fin whales, and humpback whales, all baleen whale species, they have a pretty broad spectrum, and with sperm whales and other toothed whales using higher frequencies, you would think that that's just all there is to it. A simple dichotomy of sound, with toothed whales like sperm whales and whales that are in huge pods like humpbacks using a higher frequency for harmonics and different types of communication, and more solo or smaller pod type whales like blue and fin whales that relatively stay in a lower range for their lower size. This simple science gets broken down quite quickly when we introduce the 52 hertz whale. Imagine a whale that calls not at 10, not at 20, not even at 30, but at 52 hertz. In 1989, the US Navy's Pacific Fleet recording stations picked up a strange call, consistent, patterned, and unlike any known whale song. This whale calls at 52 hertz. That's higher than the calls of blue whales and fin whales, and not consistent with any known population of humpbacks either. For comparison, 52 hertz is more than twice the frequency of blue whale calls, and it's much higher than fin whale songs too, but it's still lower than most humpback sounds. It's as if this whale was singing a different language entirely, a voice that may not be understood by any other whale. Here's what makes this story fascinating. Its persistence. The same frequency has been detected every year since 1989. And it's also migratory. The whale travels across large ocean regions seasonally, much like humpbacks, and its patterned calls show structure, not just random noise or something from the deep that may be interfering with hydrophones. Because the calls are so regular and the frequency so unique, scientists believe this is one individual whale, not a whole species. But does any other whale respond? So far, recordings have never captured a clear response from another whale. That's part of the reason it's nicknamed the loneliest whale in the world. The biggest question asked is why would a whale sing at a frequency no other whale is known to use? Here are a few theories scientists have explored. Some scientists think this whale may have a physical abnormality, maybe malformed vocal cords or unusual anatomy, that makes its call sound different. If this whale has a different vocal anatomy, it might not produce typical whale song frequencies. That could explain why its calls are outside the normal range. Another idea is that this whale might be a hybrid, a cross between two species. For example, a cross between a blue whale and a fin whale, both huge baleen whales, but hybrids are extremely rare. Yet, a hybrid might produce a call outside the usual species range. Theory 3 is the most exciting of the three. Could this whale possibly be an undiscovered species? The ocean is vast, and we still find new species every year, but after decades of recordings, no others like this have been found, so its likeliness to be an entirely different species with its own set of calls is highly unlikely. Some experts suggest it's a humpback whale with an unusually high-pitched call. Humpbacks can produce frequencies near this range, but their typical patterns and harmonics don't match exactly. So why does the story of this whale capture our imagination? Well, most whales communicate across distances, singing, calling, signaling to others, but because no calls have been clearly matched as response to the 52 Hz whale, it sounds, at least to our instruments, as if this whale has never found another like it. It's also highly important to remember that we don't know if other whales ignore the call, or if they just don't respond in ways our equipment captures. Sound perception for whales is different from ours. They hear a range we might not detect without special instruments. Still, the idea of a whale singing alone in the ocean, forever unanswered, resonates with people. That's why scientists, artists, poets, and filmmakers have shared this story again and again. The ocean is deep, mysterious, and filled with sounds we're only just beginning to interpret. The 52 Hz whale reminds us how much we still have to learn about other species, about communication, and even about loneliness. Whale group dynamics is something that is super important to consider when talking about the 52 Hz whale. Whale songs aren't just sounds drifting through empty water, they're part of a rich social world. Whales form some of the deepest and most complex relationships in the animal kingdom. Humpback whales in particular are known to be highly social. Their mothers stay with calves for up to a year, and during that time, calves learn migration routes and feeding grounds by following their mothers. Young whales also learn songs and vocal patterns by listening to adults. Entire populations can adopt evolving song trends almost like musical culture. In humpbacks, songs actually spread across oceans. One population invents a new pattern, and within seasons, whales thousands of miles away are singing the same tune. Another rich culture to dive into while thinking about whale sounds and their relationships are orcas. Orcas are actually whales, and while not all whales are dolphins, all dolphins are technically whales. While they sit on different branches evolutionarily, there are tons of adaptations that they have retained from their previous ancestors. Orcas live in tight matriarchal pods led by elder females. Each pod has a distinct dialect. Families hunt together using coordinated strategies, and some pods stay together for life. Orcas don't just communicate. Some whale species might use a set sound that they use to communicate with all members of the species, but when it comes to different ecotypes of killer whales and even different pods, they all have their distinct dialects that they use to communicate with one another. In contrast, sperm whale language is pretty vanilla. They communicate using pattern clicking sequences called codas. Codas identify family groups and social clans. Multiple clans can share oceans but maintain unique acoustic identities. With their unique hearing system, they're able to differentiate from one another, but to us, it all just sounds like clicks. Vastly different from what you hear from other types of whales, such as the humpbacks. In the deep ocean, sight is limited, smell fades, but sound travels for miles. Whale calls help them find mates, coordinate migration, locate one another across vast distances, maintain lifelong social bonds, and pass knowledge between generations. For whales, sound is community. So again, why does one unusual sound matter so much to scientists? It's because the 52 Hz whale sits at the intersection of acoustics, behavior, evolution, and conservation. It challenges everything we know about whale communication. Most baleen whales vocalize within narrow frequency ranges tied to their anatomy and species identity. This whale breaks that mold. It calls at a consistent abnormal frequency, migrates like known species, and produces structured pattern vocalizations. That forces scientists to reconsider how flexible whale communication really is. It also may reveal hidden genetic stories. If the whale is a hybrid, it could help researchers understand interbreeding between large whale species. It could reveal how vocal traits are inherited and show how new acoustics traits emerge. Hybrids are rarely documented in massive ocean animals, making any evidence extremely valuable. The 52 hertz whale was discovered on accident between Cold War listening systems. This means that there could be other unknown whales that we haven't detected, as ocean soundscapes are still poorly mapped. Long-term passive acoustic monitoring is crucial. Scientists are careful with the word lonely. We don't know if other whales can hear the call but choose not to respond. The other whale communicates in other frequencies. Our equipment simply misses replies. This case specifically pushes researchers to explore whale perception ranges, social response behaviors, and non-visual social structures. The loneliest whale became something unexpected, a symbol. Its story has helped raise public interest in marine science. It has also funded ocean acoustic research, support whale conservation programs, and inspire many documentaries, music, and films. A single signal sparked global curiosity. Whether truly alone or simply misunderstood, this whale reminds us that even in the most connected ecosystems on Earth, a voice can still go unheard. Somewhere beneath the waves, a voice still echoes at 52 hertz, a reminder that the oceans keep secrets and science is still learning how to listen. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the 52 hertz whale. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future episodes exploring the wonders of the natural world. It is my goal to hit 500 subscribers by the end of next month, so if you would like to join me on that journey, please subscribe and let me know what you would like to see from me next.